The Titans are back into game week after a well-needed bye week. They get into the bye week, they kind of reassess everything. The trade deadline was last week, and now they're on to the Houston Texans. But the Titans received a gigantic gift from not only the New York Jets, but also the New Orleans Saints. Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. We'll get into the exact gift that I'm talking about, but I want to ask you guys a question because you only have one win. The Titans, it's not looking too good. People are already kind of moved on to the future. Are you still looking forward to Titans games? Go down in the comments right now. Are you looking forward to Tennessee against Houston this weekend? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. So you're probably asking, Brett, why are the Titans getting a gift from an NFC team and an AFC East team? Well, going into Week 10, all three teams were tied. Each of them only had one win on the season. And you're probably thinking, oh, what does it matter? Well, the Saints, they took down the Panthers 17-7. Tyler Shook had an absolute game. 2 touchdowns. Looks like they might have their quarterback. And then the Jets, who surprisingly are on a 2-game winning streak, they took down the Cleveland Browns 27-20, which I think is hilarious. Look at that stat line by Justin Fields. 54 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Absolute joke. So both of those teams won. But why exactly does this matter? Well, the Titans after Week 9 were 1-8. The Jets were also 1-8. And so were the New Orleans Saints. But after those two guys both got the dubs over the weekend, when you look at the exact draft order going into the 2026 NFL draft, look who is at the top of the list. It is the Tennessee Titans. And you could see, lost the last 4. New Orleans 2-8. They won 1, and the New York Giants, now they're also 2-8, and they've lost the last 4, but the Jets are 2-7 going up to that 1 spot. So right now, the Titans hold the first pick in the draft. And guess what? They held the first pick in the draft last year. They could go back to back. And it's kind of a surprise. Nobody thought after getting your franchise quarterback that the Titans, well, they could have a possibility of getting the first overall pick in 2024 and 2025. It's a rare occurrence. It does not happen often. Only 4 times in this whole entire NFL history has this happened. Only 4 times teams have picked back-to-back. I think it goes all the way back to, I don't know, like the 80s. It's a rare occurrence. But the Titans, if they keep on track, it just happens. But the question is, could the Tennessee Titans do it? Could they go back-to-back and get the first overall pick literally 2 years in a row? It's crazy to think that it could happen, but with their schedule, I think it's a possibility. This weekend, you're going up against the Texans, who they coming off a crazy comeback win. Division matchup, they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then you go up against the Seahawks, who's one of the best teams in football. The Jaguars, yeah, they're okay. The Browns is going to be a possibility for a win. I mean, the Jets got their win against them. 49ers, no. Chiefs, no. Maybe the Saints. And then the Jaguars, you close out your last 2 weeks of the season. But I'm looking at that Week 17 game. I'm calling this the absolute tank bowl. Week 17, December 28th, Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, or 12 p.m. Central Time. I should say Central Time because it's in Tennessee. But 1-8, and right now 2-8. And we don't know what the records are going to be, obviously, come Week 17, but I have a feeling these two teams are going to compete for that first overall pick. And people are probably going to say, well, maybe the Titans should start tanking. Well, I doubt they're going to tank. Do you think Cam Ward, the one guy that has that winning mindset in his eyes, is going to want to tank? No, not in a single second is he going to want to lose games. Cam Ward is going to be determined. He is going to be locked in for the rest of the season, no matter what the record is. The Titans shouldn't focus, though, on winning because the season's over. I would try to get a good draft pick. The Titans need to focus on developing this guy right here, Cam Ward. And I think that's specifically why they didn't try and go out and trade Chigakonkwo. They didn't go out and try to trade Calvin Ridley. Because, I mean, you could go out and trade Chigakonkwo right now. He's going to be a free agent. There is no reason they should have not tried to trade him. But they kept him. Wonder why? Probably because you need some weapons for your franchise quarterback and help him get better and go into year 2 and finally make that second-year leap that a lot of quarterbacks are doing. Look at the 2024 draft class. Caleb Williams looks good. Drake May is the MVP favorite right now. So, yeah, you get the point. Bo Nix is 8-2. Do you want the Titans to tank, though? Do you want them to get the first pick? Go down in the comments section right now. Type T for tank. Or if you want them to at least try to win, go type a W in the comments section. Now, coming up, I'm going to tell you guys, well, what if the Titans do get the number 1 overall pick? What if they go back-to-back? What should they do with it? You got 2 options here, and we're going to break down both of them. But first, I got to tell you guys our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you can cash in. Did you know Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off, which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Didn't make a lineup today because it's Monday. I kind of like to let my thoughts get closer to the football season, but there's still basketball. There's still hockey going on. Esports, it does not matter. But you got to make a lineup. You got to download the app to make a lineup and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right. So what would the Titans do if they got lucky enough to get the first pick overall? Well, there's 2 options. You guys know what the options are. You either draft at number 1 or trade down. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. You have 2 options. Obviously, draft or you trade the pick away. So let's start with the first option. You draft at the number 1 overall spot. So who would you draft? Well, according to Tankathon, which gave me what the Titans were at first, here's who they have. Reuben Bain Jr., the edge rusher out of Miami, and you can see his stats there. 30 tackles. I think he has 31 tackles. He has 3 sacks now. This is before, obviously, their last game they just played against, I think, Syracuse over the weekend. But Reuben Bain Jr., solid player. I would not mind him at all. 6'3", 275 pounds, and 31 tackles. Yeah, 31, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. I think he'd be a great pick for the Tennessee Titans going in. But do you really want an edge at the first overall pick? You just drafted Femi Oladejo in the 2nd round in 2024. I don't know. Obviously you need some depth at edge. You just traded away Draymond Jones. I don't think Jihad Ward is going to be that guy for the future. So you need another edge guy. But I don't think it's worth it to trade at the number 1 pick. I do not think it's worth it. Go out and get a weapon for Cam Ward. Or better yet, get an offensive lineman, because right now the offensive line looks like a dud. And Dan Moore Jr. getting paid $82 million. Well, that's not great. All right, the second option. And this is the option that I would love to do if I had the number 1 overall pick. And it's obviously trade down. Go call up every single person that wants that number 1 overall draft pick. This should be the only option. They should not even consider drafting at the number 1 overall pick. You have your franchise quarterback in Cam Ward. You're not going to go out and draft another one. You're not going to draft Mendoza out of Indiana. That's just not happening. And you could get an absolute haul. Because if you look back at the 2023 trade, the last time a first overall pick was traded, look at the haul the Bears received, man. The 9th overall pick, the 61st overall pick, the 2024 first-round pick of the Panthers, which turned out to be the first-round pick, and also a 2025 second-round pick. And also they got DJ Moore. The Titans could get that exact haul right there. So that's 4 picks, 2 seconds, 2 firsts, and a great player in a wide receiver like DJ Moore. If you could get a haul from whatever team that needs it, I'm not naming any specific teams because I don't know who's out there, who's going to want a quarterback in the future. Maybe the Cardinals. I don't know. But this would set you up for the future. And if you want to go 2 years later, after making that trade, after the Chicago Bears traded the first overall pick to the Carolina Panthers, the Chicago Bears are succeeding in 2025. They got their franchise quarterback in Caleb Williams. Yeah, they got lucky by getting that first pick in 2024. But the cap space, yeah, they don't have that much. But this is the best start to their season since 2020. They were 5-1. They're now 6-3. I know, look at that. Third in the NFC North, but they have a chance to make the playoffs. And that's all you really want. This is a rebuild. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. And if you can follow the Bears' path, what they did by trading away that first overall pick, maybe you can follow in their footsteps. Maybe you could be that team in 2 years to be that 6-3 team. The Bears didn't have their franchise quarterback. Then they got one, and 2 years later, they're now 6-3. Last year, they were terrible. They did not make the playoffs. So maybe in the future, you get those draft picks, you get that draft capital, you start to be that 6-3 team down the line and having a playoff push. But you got to do that. You got to trade. You got to trade down. Do not draft at number 1. But you guys make the decision. Be Mike Borgonzi. Be Chad Brinker. Are you drafting at 1 or are you trading down? Type 1 if you want to draft at 1 or type TD if you want to trade down. Make sure you always hit that sub button if you haven't already. You made it to the end of the video because obviously we're doing something right. We got you coverage all week long for the Tennessee Titans as they lead up to their game against the Houston Texans. So hit that sub button and as always, tighten up.